America is awesome.
Let us be lovers.
No, not that America. America by Allen Ginsberg. So Allen Ginsberg's sort of infamous for not editing his works very well, and never taking them to the level which they deserve to reach. And this is why many of his later works aren't really regarded on as high a level as works from Howl and Kaddish. But he's also famously said that by changing one word in Howl, the poem, that he transformed it from being something that was sort of meh into something amazing and transcendentally awesome. And that might sound pretentious and absurd, but it's only because it's pretentious and absurd. The greatest instance of Ginsberg as a terrific editor, though, comes to us in the form of America. An early version was recorded in 1956 at the first public reading of the poem. The performance is odd, and there's a lot of laughter, and it sort of comes across more as a stand-up comedy routine than a poem, but that's only part of what's jarring. Despite almost every single line that appears in the final published version appearing in this one, it's diluted by a lot of other stuff. Some lines that were cut are fantastic, like when will you reinvent the heart, which I think would make an excellent emo band name. But a lot of them are just too heavy-handed or weird. They add nothing to the poem. So it's by removing these lines and rearranging them slightly that we come up with the best paced free verse poem that has ever existed. Now if you know me, or you know America, or you know me and how I feel about America, you'll understand that I can't talk about everything awesome about America in one video, and so I'm not even going to try. Basically, the poem is divided into two phases. The first phase gives us all of the context for understanding the second phase, and it also sets up the idea of the poet as an other. The first phase is full of accusations and expectations. When will you send your eggs to India? I'm sick of your insane demands. When can I go into the supermarket and buy what I need with my good looks? The second phase begins with the lines, "It occurs to me that I am America. I'm talking to myself again." This sort of cresting is something that Ginsberg has used in many of his poems, most effectively in America and a supermarket in California. But what happens in America is that the second half, Ginsberg is sympathetic, and he acknowledges his part, his being a cog in the machine that is America. There are a lot of understandings of misunderstandings. In the first phase, Ginsberg breaks down the difference between himself as sort of a subversive, radical, crazy person and the rest of America. And in the second phase, he encourages Americans to break down those barriers and become humans, as opposed to Americans, that's us versus Russia, etc. The last little bit is my favorite part just because I identify so much with it, and it's just such a badass thing to say. It's true I don't want to join the army or turn lathes in precision parts factories. I'm nearsighted and psychopathic anyway. America, I'm putting my queer shoulder to the wheel. And when Ginsberg says, I'm putting my queer shoulder to the wheel, yes, he could be saying because he has sex with men, therefore he's queer and everything about him is queer, and so of course his shoulder that he's going to be putting to the metaphorical wheel is queer. But keep in mind he's a poet, and why would he say that? When he says queer, he just means peculiar and strange and subversive and weird and outside of the norm, and he doesn't just mean gay, though that's a part of it for him. For someone like you, it might be, you know, that you're infatuated with Twilight and you're a 50-year-old woman. That's pretty queer, but you still matter. You're still a part of the whole everything. You're part of the human race, and you've got your role, and you just need to figure out what your role is, and you just need to do it. And it's kind of saying that, you know, no matter what, there's nobody that's too weird to be part of making things better and making things happen. And that is an incredible lesson, and it's an incredible idea to live your life by. And it's hard for me sometimes to feel that that's the way I'm living my life. But, you know, I try. If you haven't watched the video about a supermarket in California, you should watch that. There's a link in the doobly-doo, assuming that you liked this video. If you didn't like this video, you probably haven't made it to this point, but I'll remind you again that you should go and watch/listen to the early reading of America, so you can get a feel for how well it was edited and how incredibly well it's paced, especially versus its previous form. And I will see you later.